Hello world, and good afternoon, and welcome to the Microsoft Business Applications TV Lunch and Learn series. If this is your first time with this series, look at the description down below. In the description, we have the timestamps for the demonstration you're about to see. Every Monday, we bring you detailed demonstrations that showcase the unique differentiators of Microsoft's business applications. Starting with Azure, combining Dynamics 365, bringing in the Power Platform that includes Microsoft's Power BI for the ability to analyze, Microsoft's Power Platform, or PowerApps rather, that gives you the ability to build applications, and then Microsoft Flow, the ability to automate. All that combines the capabilities to help and drive and empower our customers to achieve more. On the Teams call, I've got my colleague and friend, James Galvin. James, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks, Nick.
There is a tremendous amount of excitement around the Microsoft accelerators. And today we're going to be diving into the accelerator for banking and built on Dynamics 365. So we're really excited. So thank you.
No, it's my pleasure to be here. We're really excited. We're all taking a breath. We were out in Inspire last week where we launched both the banking and the automotive accelerators. Those join the existing three we have in market for healthcare, education, and nonprofit. And I'm excited to be here to showcase what we've done with the accelerator, the banking data model that we built on, and how we've extended the common data model across Microsoft for banking, for the banking concepts for both retail and commercial banking.
That's great. Let's dive in.
All right, thanks. Let me show you what we're doing. Once again, what we've been working on and what we released last week at Inspire is a brand new capability from Microsoft around banking, both retail and commercial banking. And we're calling it the Microsoft Banking Accelerator. So what we're hearing a lot from the banks and financial services companies that we work with are it's very difficult to get a handle on data. It's very difficult to reason and create business processes that span different data systems. So you have core banking at most of the banks. These are oftentimes legacy systems, mainframe systems. You have customer experiences where customers are now interacting with the bank in new and novel ways. They're interacting with their mobile devices, IoT devices. There's the social signals coming in on their social engagement. And they're wanting to interact with the bank in new ways. They want them to be responsive. They want them to recommend offers and have a real relationship with the bank. Operations. So operations are all siloed information, how the customer has transactions within the ATM, how they want to be able to pay, all the new payment systems. And then the branch office. So there still is oftentimes that physical location where the customer wants to go in and have a one-to-one discussion with a relationship manager. The problem with this is there's digital gaps between all of these different experiences. These are functional areas with oftentimes siloed information between them. If you look at it, data is stored in all these different systems. They're stored and defined in different ways. So everything from a checking account to the bank, they're all defined differently, and there's no way of being able to run business processes across each of these. It's siloed information where things are left hanging, the customer is not responded to, and the result is either the customer leaves the bank or they have just a poor experience with it, and they amplify that on social media. What we want to do is bring things together, and that's what we're doing with our common data model. So wouldn't it be great if we had a rich semantic way of defining the information, defining the data? So the language for the data to speak was defined in the same way, the relationships were defined the same way, and you had a data model that could be shared not only across Microsoft, but our partner ecosystem and our customers as well. And most importantly, wouldn't it be great if this was based on open standards and freely and openly available on GitHub? And so that's really what the vision is with our Microsoft Common Data Model. This is a shared repository of data, data schema, the rich semantics of the data. So defining what the relationships are between the data, defining the cardinality between the data. This was populated from the Microsoft Dynamics 365 system. So you can think of the horizontal constructs of things like your name, your address, your phone number, Those were all our first core entities and data model that we put in the common data model. Quickly, our partners started writing to this as well. So we have other partners such as Adobe, Informatica, which are writing to the model. But what we quickly realized was that in addition to those horizontal entities, we needed to provide that same data schema for different industries. So we have 5 in market today. We have healthcare, nonprofit, education, banking, and automotive. And the one I'm going to be speaking to you and demoing you is the one for banking. So you see here that this common data model has now been extended. So this is showing some of the different entities that are in the banking data model. Things around referrals. So a relationship manager or an internal or external person being able to send referrals of they had a great experience with the bank. They want to be able to let others share the same success that they've had with it. Collateral, mortgages, home equity lines, KYC, which is know your customer. For commercial banking, things around limits or syndicated loans. And then all of the different financial products around commercial loans, checking account, deposit accounts, credit scores, commercial deals, and in the commercial lending space, what type of requested facilities they have. So what type of facilities and limits the commercial loan might have. So I wanted to quickly go into a demonstration of it, which will not only extend into what we're doing with Dynamics 365 in the Power Platform. So you can see on the left-hand side that the model shows up in the Common Data Service, but we also show this up in Azure Data Lake Gen 2. So this shows up for doing analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence. We include how to implement this model for banking, for commercial and retail banking inside an Azure Data Lake, and you can run the rich visualizations on top of that. Both Azure Data Lake and the Common Data Model there, as well as the Common Data Service, all conform to the same standards that we're putting out within the Common Data Model. All of this has gone through a rigorous evaluation on our side, a steering committee, as well as we adhere to open standards in the banking industry. So as a summary in our industry accelerators, the first thing is it's a banking data model. So we work closely with the BIAN team, which is an open standard for banking, and as well as other open banking initiatives. We developed a banking data model that extends what we're doing with our common data model. In addition, the accelerator includes sample apps. So at the end of the day, it's just a model. We want you as a customer or as a partner being able to implement this within Microsoft 365, within Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform, as well as within Azure. This is all free and open source. So everything we do is completely transparent. Everything we do is put on GitHub. We have a repository there, and it's all under the open source license. And then the last thing is we want our partners building on this. So at the end of the day, we want to develop the best platform for our partners to build on. And we've been working with some of the key partners such as Veripark, which is adopting this data model, Fiserv, Wealth Dynamics, Personetics, and a whole range of additional ISVs, which are now building solutions on top of this data model. So let's get into and showing a quick demonstration of what it is. So the first thing is I wanted to, since many of you might not be familiar with the banking side, is the industry standard that our data model uses is based on BIAN and is interoperable with it. So BIAN is an open standard. They have an open API, and there's a rich community of both technology vendors as well as some of the largest banks in the world, which are collaborating and working on a banking standard. If you double click into BIAN, you can see that the reference architecture covers many of the main service domains of banking, both on the commercial and the retail side. And we've adhered to this description, as well as what we've done is we have interoperability shipped as part of GitHub to show how we can work directly with BIAN compliant systems. So let's get right into a demonstration of what we're including with the Banking Accelerator. So the first thing is the Banking Accelerator is built from the bottoms up to be able to work across lots of different scenarios. Whether you're starting in analytics in an Azure Data Lake and building an ML or an AI bot or a chat bot, or if you're using Power BI for data visualizations, you can start on that side. In addition, we include different Power Apps. So whether or not you're just a citizen developer wanting to build a quick Power App and use just Power Apps and not Dynamics, we include an experience where you can download the Accelerator as well as sample Power Apps for doing things of building on the banking model, as well as rich extensions if you want to use the Dynamics 365 applications or some of the new AI and insights applications such as customer insights. So in this case, what we're seeing is just a really quick referral app, a Power App that's part of the experience. So let's talk about a relationship manager. Let's say he's on the bus. He's running this on his phone. It's just a Power App with a mobile experience. And he's sitting next to a customer on the bus, let's call her Betty. And they start chatting and find out that she's a customer of the bank as well. And she's interested in a new mortgage. The relationship manager says, we have a fantastic new 30-year mortgage. We'd love for you to come in and talk about potentially refinancing. So on the bus, he can go quickly and create a referral and generate a new referral and generate it as hot for Betty of saying, this is fantastic. Let's log this as a referral. I want to make sure we follow up with Betty. Later on that day, a marketing campaign is sent to Betty and says, oh, it was great talking with you. Please check out our website for more information on it. So here we go to an example website. Again, all of this is using the new banking data model and Accelerator. And so Betty could come in here and say, what do I want to help you with? And now this is using the Dynamics 365 virtual agent that uses Azure services underneath, such as the bot framework. In this example, we're just going to go and look up her phone number. But you can use any way of looking up the customer. So in this case, what it's doing is actually reaching into a real deployment of Dynamics 365 and finding out information about her. So in this case, it's recognized, you can see on the screen in the virtual agent that it's Betty. And in this case, she had a great discussion with that relationship manager and would like to, let me see, this is all populated from the new data model. She wants to create a new mortgage application. So in this case, it's again reaching into the data model, and this is all brand new with the banking accelerator. So it's finding out that she wants to come in for an appointment on a mortgage, and it's also finding out her preferred location. So this is her preferred branch, Midland Financial, and she's going to go and talk to a relationship manager and have an appointment scheduled for that branch office location. So while this is setting up, we're setting up an appointment for Betty. Now let's say it's time for the appointment. In this case, we're now moving into an experience for the relationship manager. So let's start off in a dashboard experience. So as part of the accelerator, we include a set of different dashboards. Some of these are Power BI embedded, others are built within Dynamics. But this is something similar to what they saw before on their mobile experience, but this is now expanded. So the relationship manager can see the appointments, can see the timeline, open prospects and referrals. In this case, they have an appointment coming up with Betty. So they can open up the mortgage application and find out information populated by that virtual agent. So in this case, Betty Welch is coming in, and this relationship manager is going to want to spend a couple minutes looking at what is her profile. How has she interacted with the bank before? Getting all of those digital signals to find out, is she happy with the bank? What type of financial products does she have? What type of financial products might she have? Being able to get customer insights to be able to say what might she be most likely to want to accept as far as a new mortgage. So in this case, we would look up her profile. So again, we click in and we find all the information associated with Betty. We can find out relationship analytics here of how much time that she spent with the bank, as well as the various signals coming in. You can find out what type of financial products she has, as well as what her profit tier in the bank is, what her household and connections are. Maybe she has, in this case, she has 2 children, as well as she has a spouse, Brian. The KYCs, or Know Your Customers, which might be done on an annual basis, what referrals, as well as a bunch of information. At this time, they can create different opportunities. In this case, the relationship manager might sit down with Betty and be able to create a new mortgage for Betty. In addition, you're able to find out different things around her relationship, whether it's improving or steady or perhaps declining. And you're able to follow one of these all the way through with the Power Platform in Dynamics 365 using the Banking Accelerator, as well as, again, these are sample apps that you can use. And then we have partners which are built full-fledged banking applications on top of this, such as VeriPark. So in this case, you see the opportunity here. Now, going back to Betty, in addition to doing the retail banking side, which we support a range of different products around home equity lines, certificates of deposit, and new mortgage. In addition, in discussions with Betty, we also have a discussion that she owns a coffee shop. And in this case, she's interested in expanding. So she wants to open a new coffee shop in Seattle. And that's managed by the CEO of her company, which just happens to be her husband. So she asked for a referral if you could send information for the commercial lending side to connect with Brian to talk about a new commercial deal to do an expansion. So in this case, they can quickly set up a referral and send that referral to the commercial lending side. If we go over to the commercial lending side, you can see that the experience looks similar but different. Now we're looking at limits for the different companies. So in this case, the commercial lenders is looking at credit holds, requested facilities, and the commercial deals that they have. In addition, if you look at their daily dash, they see that this new referral came in from Brian on this coffee shop expansion. So similar on the retail side, they can look at the company. So in this case, we look at Brian, the referral came in from him, and we see that they have an existing account with the bank. So we can look up Coffee Inc. And just like we saw a customer 360-degree view for the retail side, in this side, we see a company view. So again, we have a profiteer for the company, but in this case, we see what facilities they might already have with the bank. So in this case, you look at the facilities that they have. They already have some equipment loans. They have a commercial mortgage, and they're looking at expanding their a coffee location in Seattle. In addition, you can see what the total limit is for the company. In this case, they have a limit of $1 million, and you can see how much of it's been utilized and how much is available. In addition, there's the KYC, but this is very much around a company KYC, as well as additional information on the contacts at the company, what connections they have at the bank. At the same way for opportunities, they can go ahead and create a new opportunity and a new commercial deal. So in this case, the same thing as you can see for the commercial deal, that they can set up a coffee shop expansion and see what requested facilities are related to this commercial deal. So in this case, perhaps they want a new espresso machines, new seating, the additional facilities that are being requested from the bank. Now at this point, they can interact with Proposal Manager. Now in this case, they're probably going to want to collaborate with things such as maybe an appraiser on the property, a credit analyst. Different people within the bank might want to participate or would participate in the loan origination and creation of this. So at the same time within the Power Platform in Dynamics 365 that the mortgage is created, with Microsoft 365, we've also created a new opportunity with the banking data model, which populates a new Teams channel for Betty's mortgage. So in this case, the opportunities come over. I've created a new opportunity, and automatically it's created this Teams channel. So you're able to create with the Proposal Manager integration within Microsoft Teams. You're able to see all the information associated with it. So you're able to create a Proposal Manager team, which can work on within the bank. And those are the different personas. And now you'll see this new mortgage has been created for Betty. You're able to see within here in the Proposal Manager team that with the banking data model, now this opportunity has been populated. So the different personas within the bank, which are working and collaborating on this, so whether it be a credit analyst, legal counsel, a risk officer, they're able to collaborate, get the necessary paperwork to be able to give Betty this mortgage, or on the commercial banking side, a new commercial deal and the requested facilities. So again, what you're seeing here is a new Teams channel created for the mortgage. You're able to see the new banking data model come in. so that they're able to see the topic is Betty's requesting a new mortgage, wanting to know what her options are, the description, what her down payment, the maximum she can afford is, the requested amount, the purpose of the loan, the interest rate, the budget amount, the term of loan. All of this is populated from Dynamics 365, from the new banking data model, directly into Microsoft 365 and Proposal Manager. They're able to collaborate within teams, collect the necessary documents, send it out to Betty directly, populated with this information from the banking data model, have Betty sign that this looks good, and they're able to go through the loan process. Ultimately, when they're able to close the mortgage, it repopulates, closes the mortgage, the opportunity within Dynamics 365, and a communication is sent to Betty and her husband that they've been approved this loan, and they're able to move into their new house. Now let's look at how this works within the commercial banking side.
It's pretty amazing, right? With 13 million active users, Microsoft Teams empowers really a canvas to really take those experiences from Dynamics, from Microsoft Flow, the Power Platform, really to empower as many workers as possible. And it's really becoming a powerhouse of productivity. And Microsoft Teams is the future, but you're showing how you can take advantage of it, those integrations today.
That's right. And the banking data model is the base foundation of all of this. By defining the mortgage in the same way that Teams uses it, in the same way that Azure uses it, in the same way that Dynamics Power Platform and our ISV partners are using it, we're able to work and have these business processes that span across of being able to collaborate in teams, be able to have the customer experience in Dynamics 365, be able to have the analytics and insights within Power BI and Azure, and being able to see it all and be able to collaborate, work together, and deliver really the best experience to, in this case, Betty, as well as the bank's other customers. Now, we saw the commercial banking side and the retail banking side, but wouldn't it be great if we had a unified model underneath? And that's what the Banking Accelerator does in our banking model. So while there's unique experiences in different entities that span these, limits, syndicates, requested facilities on the commercial side, as well as KYC and additional entities on the retail side, we have a unified banking model underneath. So a branch manager can see, in this case, we're looking at Power BI, as part of the accelerator as we include dashboards, reports for branch managers, as well as the different personas within the bank. So in this case, the branch manager can see within their branch office location, all of the different commercial loan applications, the retail applications, or select all to see what their pipeline is, what's still on the table, and the aging on those. They're able to see what products are most profitable across these, or which are the most popular. So across all of the different products within the bank, both on the commercial and the retail side, they're able to see how much they might have closed within a month or within a quarter. The great thing about this data model is, again, it's extended. So we have partners both on the analytics space, the AI space, as well as the banking and what we call the transactional side of being able to do CRM, the customer experience, payments. All of them are building on the same data model. And so sharing information between this and the customer's environment becomes super easy. It's not a big complex exercise to be able to translate what does checking account mean in one location versus another. What does a transaction mean on one versus the other? What does the limit mean on one side or the other? By conforming to the common data model, we're able to share insights and create business processes that span not only across the different Microsoft products, but also across our partners and customers' environments. With that, Nick, I hope this was a good summary of what we're doing with the Banking Accelerator. The first version came out at Inspire. We hope to iterate quickly on this, as well as add additional areas within financial services soon.
James, it's really important, as a platform company, Microsoft has invested to the ability to take all of these technologies for the ability to analyze, the ability to act in the Power Platform, and the ability to automate with Microsoft Flow. The ability to accelerate and to bring an industry like financial services or banking or nonprofit or education in healthcare, right? The ability to take that platform and start to tailor it to help accelerate those outcomes. It is a paradigm shift in the investments that Microsoft is making to empower our customers. But the showcase that you've shared is excellent. And the fact that it's only been available for a couple weeks, but the platforms have been around for 15, 17, 20 years.
That's
And
right.
the ability to help drive those outcomes, it's new investments, and it's how we're partnering with our customers based upon that feedback and empowering our customers to be able to make it their own with the Power Platform, but also to empower our partners to build on top of that accelerator and help drive those outcomes for banking and financial service institutions. It's excellent.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And all of this is available on Appsource today. And underscoring what you said, everything we do with these accelerators is to not only have the model, not only have the samples, but to show that connected experience. Leverage on all the investments that are being done on our analytics within Azure, within Microsoft 365, within the Power Platform and PowerApps, within Dynamics, within our AI offers and customer insights. Bringing all of that in to showcase what can be done within Microsoft, and then also what can be done with our partners building unified applications for banking, for insurance, for financial services on top of this data model, on top of our platform, and on top of our accelerator. All of this is available on Appsource today. So appsource.com, look for the Dynamics 365 Banking Accelerator. And we offer two ways to experience this. One is a test drive experience, which really showcases that connected experience. We have a guided learning path. All you need to do is click on this, wait a few minutes, and you have an environment totally on our side. There's no prerequisites where you can experience this for yourself for up to 8 hours. If you want to deploy this within a Power Platform environment or Dynamics 365, click the Get It Now experience, and you'll be able to download it within one of your sandbox environments. And the last thing is if you're a partner, whether you're a solution implementer, an ISV partner, or a customer with some development skills, everything we do is available on GitHub, completely free. So please look out the industry accelerators, and we have a release here, which includes all of the solutions, reference diagrams, ERDs, documentation, how to integrate this with Microsoft Proposal Manager, a walkthrough guide, everything, how to implement this within Azure Data Lake Gen 2. Everything is here on GitHub. And lastly, if there's any feedback you have on the accelerator, the banking model, or want to partner with us on building on it, please reach out to me, James Galvin, and I'd love to work with you.
James, this has been excellent. So starting with Azure and the platform for business applications and marrying in the virtual agent and Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform, we've showcased the virtual agent or the common data service, and we'll reference that in the action card above. So click there to see some detailed videos on how that can help empower your organizations. But from an accelerator standpoint and really bringing that technology to the banking industry, excellent showcase, James. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Nick. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, and if this was helpful, help James and us and our teams by giving a thumbs up or add a comment below. If you have questions, we're listening, and we want to make this an empowering tool for your organization. So we want to collect that feedback and build the community. So we thank you for your time. And James, thank you very much. This was very helpful.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it. Thanks.